Hey, Genesis family. This week's word of encouragement comes to us in two parts. First, Psalm 119, verse 32. The psalmist says, I run in the path of your commands, for you have set my heart free. And Galatians chapter 5, verse 1, the apostle writes, It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. In the Bible, God casts a vision of freedom for humanity. We see that in the very beginning. When God put the first couple in the garden, he told them that they were free to eat from any tree. But then he gave them one command: don't eat from this one tree. That single solitary command was actually a gift for the couple, the gift of free will. It was an opportunity for them to choose what God said over what it is they might want in the immediate moment. It was their opportunity to trust in God's abundant provision and to show God love back. For love must be demonstrated in action and must be voluntarily, freely chosen. We see it again when God delivered the ancient Israelites from Egypt, and after their deliverance, he gave them a bunch of commands. Those commands were basically instructions on what it means to live in the freedom that God had provided for them. Through their obedience to what God said, they would be able to live in that freedom as they went into the land that God had promised them. In fact, every time freedom is mentioned in the Bible, it is always associated with some form of obedience to God's commandments. But there's always an order. First, God generously provides, and then humans respond through their active obedience. That's why the psalmist says, I run in the path of your commands, for you have set my heart free. The psalmist understood the grace that he had been given, and so he understood that he should take that grace and move forward in wholehearted obedience. In Galatians, Paul is writing a letter to the whole church, and his major theme is freedom. The freedom that the gospel message provides for humanity, and a freedom that should be maintained through trust and faith in God and active obedience to what God has said. Around this time of the year, we will always be hearing the word freedom. It's always associated with July 4th and Independence Day. A few years ago, the federal government issued a decree to have a new holiday, Juneteenth, celebrating the liberty and freedom black people have received in our land after many years of slavery. Of course, the challenges are for both our black brothers and sisters and us as a collective whole is that even though freedom has been decreed, it is oftentimes not fully experienced. In Juneteenth, it was in the 1860s where it says that they were free, but we know that a series of laws and terrible consequences and issues of segregation continue to contribute to a lack of freedom that they have received. And even for us in the general public, even though we live in the land of freedom, there is so much bondage to all the things, both internally because of our sinful tendencies and externally from the cultural realities of our day that tempt us to be trapped and held captive by sin. The gospel message is about liberty from sin and to live in that liberty no matter what is happening around us. And so, starting this Sunday for the next 2 months, Pastor Suzanne and I will be walking us through the letter to the Galatians, where we will be looking at the gospel message and how it brings true freedom to our lives. Our hope and goal is that we might experience greater measures of liberty from the sin within and the temptation without, so that we can live as God's free people as a witness to the world around us. I hope that you'll join us for that. Also, as an added bonus, we are including with this video our Friends from the Bible Project's overview of the letter to the Galatians, a powerfully illustrated picture of the whole letter so that we can center ourselves on what God's message to us really should be. Coming up, also, I want to share with you several opportunities for us to engage in community. First, we have the Micah Hope Ministry fireworks stand that will be starting June 28th. Right here at our church. All day, every day, from that day all the way through July 5th, there's an opportunity for us to purchase fireworks in support of the Micah Hope Ministry. I hope that you will choose this place to buy your fireworks to support our men as they live free from their addictions and live fruitful and flourishing lives. I also want to let you know about Man Up Saturday Breakfast, an opportunity for the men of Genesis to come together on June 28th, where we can hear a good message from our brother Greg Stutz about living as men of God, and we can enjoy food and fellowship with one another. We want you to sign up for that, and so you can just reach out to me and let me know that you're coming so that we can make sure that we have enough food for everyone. I hope that every one of our men will show up and we can be together in a powerful way. And then, starting in on July 2nd, every Wednesday, Pastor Suzanne and I will be leading a course called Practicing the Way, an opportunity for us to look seriously at what it means to be an apprentice of Jesus Christ. We're looking for at least 12 people who will join us every Wednesday from that day all the way through to the end of August on Wednesday nights from 5:30 to 7:30. There's a meal included, and you can register simply by reaching out to either Suzanne or I and letting us know that you would like to join Practicing the Way, and we'll get you signed up for that. There's a lot of other great things happening in the life of our church. I hope that you're as excited as I am about this upcoming summer as we come together and we learn what it means to live in freedom. May we sing with the psalmist, I run in the path of your commands, for you have set my heart free. I'll see you Sunday.